outsourcing gigs on Fiverr. I know so many of you have used Fiverr before. If you have, please share in the comment section your experience.
Hi everybody, welcome to Tellasis.
Today, I am going to be sharing with you lessons learned and experiences outsourcing for the first time on Fiverr for my YouTube channel.
So while the smell of this channel blowing up very soon is just singing around the corner, I am saying welcome to all my subscribers, welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you. I am super grateful for your support, and please don't forget to like, share and comment in the comment section. Are you intending to use Fiverr? Do you want your work to be good on Fiverr? If or any of these or all of these sound like you, then this video is for you. At the end of this video, I am gonna give you a great tip that will actually help you when you are choosing your gig maker on Fiverr. Stay tuned and enjoy my video. My intention is to outsource completely everything about my YouTube channel to someone on Fiverr, but fortunately I changed my mind. So that was what made the difference. So yes, this video, which was the card here, which was the environmental video, Save Our Environment, was the first video I outsourced. And I actually outsourced this video in 2 different batches, in 2 different ways, to 2 different gig makers on Fiverr. Why did you outsource your first YouTube work on Fiverr? So the reason for outsourcing them is for me to get a perfect video, because I was looking for perfection. I wanted my YouTube channel to kick off being perfect with no error. So that actually was the main reason why I outsourced my first YouTube content. But it didn't work out that way. So I was super excited because I think everything is gonna be quick and perfect. So I created my name hoping that wow, soon I'm gonna be like and upload stuff. Girl was wrong, you know? Girl was wrong.
What was the outcome of the gig?
The gig went bad because my intention for outsourcing it is to get perfection, but I didn't get perfection. The first time the video returned back to me, it was lacking in the written words because it was an audio. It was a video that is supposed to show words. I sent out words and audio at the same time, so the gig maker will actually get stock images and make them. But unfortunately, when he delivered, he doesn't have wordings or background noises on the audio. When I recorded it was all there. He didn't edit anything, he didn't remove anything, he just put up the stock videos and put it back to me. And number 2, I sent him my logo and my logo was not there. So it will be easy for someone else to just clone my work, right? So at the end of the day, it took lots of forth and back for corrections to be made. He made little bit correction. Example, he put up the wordings, but it was very difficult for him to correct the background noises and the audio faults that appeared there. So at the end of the day, I ended up doing the work by myself, something I really dreaded, something I really didn't know that I will be able to do, because at this point I really don't know how to edit video. I didn't really know that I will be able to edit video. I didn't know exactly what I can do. So I was just thinking that it's only a professional that can help me do this. But when I was disappointed, I actually found out that I can do all this, and thankfully I decided to, that was what made me to change my mind about using a manager to do my first content. So all I did was I just went out to the field and I took a walk around my neighborhood, which gave me my first YouTube video. I discarded, not that I discarded, I put on hold the former 3 contents that I already made, which was solely on unboxing. I put them on hold and I decided to go to the field and make a brand new video for me to launch my my channel. It was good that at the end of the day the gig went bad, and it forced me into doing things because I desperately wanted to use the video. I didn't want to dish it out, I didn't want to throw it away, and I've already spent the money. If I was asking the gig maker to make the corrections, for him to make the corrections, he was charging me extra money to make the corrections. So that was why I decided, instead of me to pay more money for him to redeem the mistakes that he made, I'm gonna do it myself. Again, I think the 3rd time it was sent back, they told me it is the last time the last time the work can be reviewed. So having sent the work forth and back for 3 times, I think that was the highest limit work can be reviewed on Fiverr. So at that point he couldn't actually make any more corrections except I pay him another money and make the gig a fresh gig. That was the only way he would have been able to help me.
Remember, I previously mentioned that I contracted 2 gig makers for this work. Unfortunately, I had agreement with the first gig maker as regards to audio, and then assumed it's also agreeable within all gig makers in the same category. I was completely wrong.
Agreement. In this gig, we actually had an agreement, but what went wrong with this agreement? Fine. What went wrong with this agreement was I generalized the agreement based on the former agreement I had with another gig maker. So the first gig maker actually told me that if I want them to sublet the audio to someone, to another professional to voice the wordings for me and then do everything, that they can do that. If I want my original voice to be used, yes, they can actually still do that, and then he will fine-tune the audio and remove all background noises. So I agree with that. So with that agreement, I actually thought that this same agreement is kind of general to all the gig makers who are editing video. So with this particular gig maker that made this main video, eventually the first gig maker, when he returned the work, it was good, but it seems irrelevant for the purpose I wanted to use it for. So I actually didn't use it because it seems irrelevant. So this particular one that actually is very relevant actually started telling me that our agreement did not include correcting audios, that our agreement is just for him to make videos, that he make videos but he doesn't make audios. You know, this really sounded so strange to me, because to me, even till now, because to me videos and audio go together. So I don't see how anybody can separate audio from video, but this particular gig maker actually proved to me that he separates it. So if I want him to make audio, to correct audios as well, I'm gonna pay him extra money for him to make the audios. Since the money I paid him money, he said that the money covers only for him to put the pictures together for me. You see, this is weird, but this was actually what happened. So he sent me another bill that after I have sent the video back, like forth and back, and he made, the only corrections he made was to put the text in the video, and the rest of it he kept sending them back like that and keep telling me he had done it, but he didn't do nothing. And at the end of the day, he sent me another bill for me to pay for him to make the audio. So that was the point I said nope. So that was where I started learning how to edit videos. I made the corrections by myself, but I did tell him that it is gonna end his business with me, because if he had tried to make corrections, I would have given him more work, which was honest. I wanted to give him those other contents that I had for him to edit for me, because I didn't have time to do all those. But because of how he treated me, I made a compulsory time for myself to do this, even if it took me sleepless night. I had to do it by myself. So by the time he realized that he had already marred his own business, so he decided to apologize and said, okay, I can send it back, that he will do it. I had already corrected it the way I did. And anyway, I forgave him. I am still going to give him one more shot to see if he's going to do better. But agreement, make sure you made your agreement very well. Have a concrete agreement. They are all separate. So have a separate agreement with each and every one of them if you are going to use any gig from Fiverr. Then the next one is research. Apart from having an agreement, make sure that you research very well. Do not subject yourself to just one gig maker. That was what I did. I just took two of them and I never researched, and the other one didn't actually send me any example of his work. I just gave out the work like that, and that was why he sent back the video and I couldn't use it. This other one, he sent me sample of this video, which was which I didn't really watch it to the end. So what I'm saying is, make research, read what their work, what they are offering, read it in details before you, and make research with other gig makers there very well before you choose whom you are going to work with. The negotiation, make sure that your negotiation was concrete enough that you factor everything inside your negotiation. Every single details mattered, so factor every details while you are negotiating. In fact, another mistake that I made was I kind of subscribed for the job before now starting conversation with them. So this is wrong. If you are starting with them, just go and start conversation with them before you actually subscribe for the work. Because I actually subscribed for the work for one of the gig makers that actually got back to me and said that he is not available because he had lots of editing work to do. He is not available. Meanwhile, he have to now go ahead and cancel. So don't make this mistake. It's not good. Another thing I need you to know is about charges on Fiverr. I subscribed to Fiverr via using my PayPal. So the thing I noticed is that after the Brexit stuff, I guess the Brexit stuff affected the price on Fiverr. So number one,
service charges applies on every transactions on Fiverr apart from conversion rate. In fact, I don't even know if there is conversion rate because each of them bills in dollars. So if you forget to include all orders in your purchase, you will eventually pay additional service charge to get it done. So be careful with this.
The charges were quite expensive, so I will rather advise, if you are choosing a gig on Fiverr, make sure all your needs are in one package and just subscribe for the package in one bulk so that you wouldn't be going forth and back paying extra charges. I noticed that on Fiverr they charge you for tips. So, and when they charge you for tips, it's no problem when someone did a good job for you and you want to tip them. This is absolutely wonderful. It's okay for me to tip, but where I have problem in this case is where I have to tip and I have to pay charges again on tipping. So this is where it kind of discourages me to tip, because I can't be tipping you. Maybe for example, I'm tipping you £2 and I think the minimum tip is maybe like £10 or £5, I can't remember. So let's say for example I am tipping somebody £5, I'm paying charges of £2 on £5. Like, what's the point of tipping anyway? So you have to really think about this. I don't know how it works if I am paying directly with my smart card. I don't know how this is gonna turn around. Maybe I'm gonna try it in future. So if you have tried this, please leave a comment in the comment section to let us know if you have tried paying you with your card, or wherever you are, if the charges are the same. But for me, this charge is not right.
Lessons learned.
I have basic lessons that I compiled that I learned from this journey so you don't make the same mistake. Number one, make sure the gig maker understands your language. So if you are choosing a gig maker, make sure both of you understand the same language. It is very important, because if both of you don't understand the same language, a conversation would be hard, because I actually had that experience. So it is really very important for you to find a gig maker that both of you can relate language wise. It's very important. Each gig maker is different, and even though the gig they are offering is the same thing, but their negotiation power will be different, and there are little pieces of difference in the works that they offer, even though they are in the same niche. So you really need to go through the detail of offers that the particular gig maker you are using is offering before you choose it. So this will help you to know the particular thing that you are subscribing to, and know if it is good for you or if it is bad for you. If you make this mistake, this will be a place where your work might actually start falling apart. If you are starting a YouTube channel, don't try to make it into perfection. If you are able to get perfection out of it, it is completely good, it is great, but don't expect too much perfection, because I think if you start, the more you go, the better you get. Because let's say, for example, if he hadn't made that mistake, I wouldn't have tried to make an attempt to learn how to edit, or even know the softwares on my phone that can actually be so much useful to me. But because I was disappointed, he threw me into the game to start doing things that I never ordinarily thought that I, number one, have time to do, and number two, dedicate myself to make it look as it is. Because all of the other videos that I posted, they are all so wonderful, and they are all things that I created personally by myself, which I never knew that I can do them. So if this disappointment didn't happen, I wouldn't have stepped up. So yes, his first mistake woke me up to realize that I need to start it off by myself and manage it to a certain point. Maybe yes, in the future I may still get a manager to manage my account, depending on how busy it gets. But now I think it is the right decision for me to go on and start it off by myself. Number 3 lesson I learned is you really need to go through everything that they are offering in details. Do not leave anything untouched, because it is important. It is very important. I made that mistake. I rush and just give out the work, and at the end I will start going and say, oh, it's actually there, I didn't read it. So don't make that mistake. It is really important for you to take details of everything on Fiverr before you actually subscribe the work out to the gig maker. If they have chat, engage in chat. It doesn't matter if the chat takes 2 days. Anyhow, make sure you engage in chat. If there is no clear chat, do not start off the subscription of the gig making. The final point is make sure that all you want about that work is in one package before subscribing. It is really important. Research. Remember, everything connected to YouTube channel is about research. If you do not research, you won't be able to get the quality of work that you want. So research is the main thing. Make sure that you know all about the work package that you want to subscribe to the gig maker before giving it out to them, because some of them can come up with something in the middle. Maybe it is good for you, you wouldn't know, and you will say no to it. And some of them may actually not offer it to you, meanwhile you need it. But if you had made your research, either they are offering or they are not offering, you will be requesting exactly what you needed, right? So this is all about it. So remember, I told you that I'm gonna give you bonus points, and this major bonus point that I am giving you on this video that you're gonna take away with you is that you should know that the gig makers has the tendency to copyright your work. So I don't know exactly how you are gonna stop this, because I have made research and I have heard people talk about their experience, I pray it doesn't have to happen to me, because I am still intending to use Fiverr in the future. I know I am still going to use them, and I am hoping that nobody takes my content. But my advice to this is to make sure you bring in this discussion into your conversation with your gig maker in the beginning, while both of you are negotiating for this job, to make sure you gain trust from this gig maker. Make sure understand from their conversation that they have credibility, that they're not going to be using your gig or selling your gig to someone else. So the best way to do it, like personally, the gig makers I usually use are gig makers that are already in level 2, and before I use them, I always read reviews, other people's reviews about them, making sure that everything went well, because Fiverr will always ask you, how was the gig, how do you feel about it, and all that. So make sure you are capable of getting a gig maker that will give you satisfaction of work that you want, so that you will confidently give them reviews. So make sure that your gig maker is trusted enough not to misuse your content before you start dealing with them. You can bring the conversation up while negotiating work with them.
Will you recommend Fiverr?
I will recommend Fiverr to anyone who is starting out, because there are so many talented people out there on Fiverr. But if you can do it by yourself, do it. But if you cannot do it by yourself, feel free to outsource the work on Fiverr. But so this is actually all I have for you about my experience outsourcing my first work on Fiverr. I hope it did help someone. So try to click the links above for you to access the rest of the videos. They are all really beginner friendly and will definitely help you in your journey. If you watch, I am still growing, I am in the journey, so I am telling you exactly what I would have done better, and these things you can avoid them. Remember that all these comments is helping me, helping you, and helping someone else who is kind of trying to find a way to make their YouTube channel better, especially those who are starting out, because some of these questions are fresh. Those people we are listening to, some of them have gone through this experience years back. They can't even remember everything that they went through. So this is as a 2021 what is on board. So it is really important for us to develop based on the current trend. So let me know at the comment section what you think.
Love you. Bye.